Charlotte Flair, Andrade, back together. I'll let that sink in for a second, because yes, you heard that right, and we're breaking down everything you need to know right now. Welcome back to Wrestling Streams, the channel where we keep you ahead of every twist, turn, and shocking headline in the world of professional wrestling. If you're new here, smash that subscribe button and hit the bell because today's story is exactly the kind of explosive content we bring you every single week. Now, let's talk about the couple that has had the entire wrestling world talking for the past several years: Andrade and Charlotte Flair. These two were once considered one of professional wrestling's most glamorous power couples. Both are world-class athletes, both carry championship pedigrees, and together, they had a kind of star power that simply cannot be manufactured. And then, it all fell apart. Or so we thought. Because today, we're diving deep into the story that has been circulating across wrestling forums, social media timelines, and insider sources: the stunning claim that Andrade and Charlotte Flair are officially back together. Buckle up, because this one is wild. For those who need a quick refresher, let's rewind the clock. Andrade, born Manuel Alfonso Andrade Oropeza, is a former NXT champion and one of the most technically gifted in-ring performers of his generation. Charlotte Flair, the daughter of the legendary Ric Flair, is a multi-time world champion and arguably the greatest female wrestler of the modern era. The two got engaged in January 2020, a moment that had the wrestling world celebrating. They were a dream couple, both talented, both driven, and both at the top of their game. Fans loved seeing them together on red carpets, social media, and even backstage. They had chemistry that felt completely natural and real. However, as is often the case in the high-pressure world of professional wrestling, things became complicated. Reports began circulating in early 2022 that the couple had separated, and by mid-2022, multiple outlets were reporting that Charlotte Flair and Andrade had officially called off their engagement. The wrestling community was stunned. Comments sections exploded. Twitter had a full meltdown moment. Fans chose sides, analysts weighed in, and the split became one of the most talked about personal stories in wrestling that year. The reasons cited at the time were the usual suspects in a high-profile athletic relationship: busy schedules, time apart due to competing contracts. Andrade was with AEW while Charlotte was with WWE, and the general strain that comes with two globally traveling performers trying to maintain a relationship across time zones and promotions. It seemed final. It seemed done. Until now. In recent weeks, eagle-eyed fans began noticing something that couldn't easily be explained away. Andrade and Charlotte Flair appeared to be spending time together again. Photos circulating on social media showed the two in overlapping locations. Subtle signs on their respective Instagram accounts, the kind of digital breadcrumbs that wrestling fans are famously skilled at picking up, started suggesting something was different. Then came the moment that truly set the internet on fire. Both Charlotte Flair and Andrade were spotted together publicly in a setting that went far beyond coincidence. Sources close to the situation began confirming what fans had suspected: the two had rekindled their relationship and were, according to multiple reports, officially back together as a couple. Now, to be absolutely clear about something important, neither Charlotte Flair nor Andrade has made an official joint public statement confirming the reconciliation as of the time this article was written. As always on this channel, we separate rumor from confirmed fact. What we can say is that the circumstantial evidence has been strong, the insider chatter has been consistent, and the fan community is responding as though this is very much real. Beyond the personal story, you have to ask, what does this mean for the wrestling landscape? And the implications are enormous. Charlotte Flair returned to WWE after a lengthy injury-related absence and immediately reclaimed her spot at the top of the women's division. She is a ratings draw, a merchandise mover, and a main event performer in every sense of the word. Meanwhile, Andrade has been making waves on the independent scene and in various promotions, reminding everyone why he was once considered one of the most exciting unsigned talents in the world. If these two are truly back together, the question that every wrestling fan immediately starts asking is, could this lead to Andrade returning to WWE? Charlotte's WWE connection is undeniable, and WWE has historically been very interested in Andrade's talents. A reconciliation between the two could very plausibly open doors to contract conversations that benefit all parties. Imagine Andrade back on SmackDown or Raw. Imagine the storyline possibilities. The segments, the promos, the moments where their real-life chemistry translates to on-screen electricity. This is the kind of scenario that creative teams dream about, and if life is truly imitating art here, the wrestling world could be in for something very special. The response from the wrestling community has been exactly what you'd expect: a beautiful, chaotic, passionate explosion of opinions. On Reddit, wrestling forums have threads hundreds of comments deep, with fans debating whether the reunion is real, whether it's permanent, and what it means for both of their careers. On Twitter and Instagram, fan accounts dedicated to both Charlotte and Andrade have been flooded with supportive messages. The hashtags have been trending. The memes have been flying. Old photos of the couple have been dug out and reposted with captions celebrating the reunion. It's the kind of organic, genuine fan engagement that can't be faked. People actually care about these two, not just as wrestlers, but as human beings. Of course, there are also the skeptics, fans urging caution, reminding everyone that celebrity reconciliations don't always last, and that until an official statement comes, the story remains unconfirmed. And that's a fair point. We always encourage critical thinking here on Wrestling Streams. Here's what you should be keeping your eyes on over the coming weeks. First, watch both Charlotte Flair's and Andrade's social media accounts closely. In the modern era, public figures often confirm major personal news through their own platforms before any media outlet gets an official statement. A joint photo, a story reply, a tagged post, any of these could be the moment of official confirmation. Second, watch the wrestling news wires. Sites and journalists who cover WWE and AEW talent movements will likely have more reporting on this as the story develops. Pay attention to any reports about Andrade's contract situation or any backstage conversations about potential returns to major promotions. And third, and most importantly, stay subscribed to Wrestling Streams, because the moment anything new breaks, we will be right here covering it with everything we've got. At the end of the day, beyond the business implications and the fan speculation, this is simply a story about two people who, despite the immense pressures of their careers and their very public lives, may have found their way back to each other. And there's something genuinely beautiful about that. Wrestling can be brutal not just physically, but in the demands it places on personal lives, relationships, and mental health. For two people who have both sacrificed so much for their craft to potentially find happiness together again, that's worth celebrating, regardless of what happens next in a ring. Whether you're a longtime Charlotte Flair fan, a die-hard Andrade supporter, or just someone who loves the human drama that surrounds professional wrestling, this story has something for everyone. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Are you excited about this reunion? Do you think Andrade should return to WWE? Let us know, and let's get the conversation going. If you haven't already, subscribe to Wrestling Streams for daily wrestling news, breakdowns, and the moments that matter most. We'll see you in the next one.